the Right Number Prop Show presented by Dead Money Sports. I'm your host, Jesse Flynn. In this edition, we're going to have the second half of the Divisional NFL Playoffs. The first game, the Cincinnati Bengals take on the Buffalo Bills. And in the second game, we've got the Dallas Cowboys taking on the San Francisco 49ers. Plenty of opportunities to find value in the props for these two games. I've got a couple that I really like for both games. Let's get into it and see which ones I like for the first game, which is the Cincinnati Bengals heading to Buffalo to take on the Bills. The first prop I like for this game is T. Higgins over 62.5 receiving yards. And I also like his over 5.5 receptions, which is at plus money. It's around plus 120 right now. On the season, he's gone over this total 7 out of the 14 games that he's played. Now he's going up against this Buffalo Bills defense that has a reputation of being really good against the pass, but they actually rank 15th in the league against the pass this season. So there are opportunities for teams to put up points in the or yards in the passing game. We saw Skylar Thompson have a pretty good game against this same Buffalo Bills defense last week. And I think Joe Burrow is a much better quarterback than he is. And if the defense is going to be focused on stopping Jamar Chase, then that looks like it should give T. Higgins an opportunity to get a few more receptions and a few more yards in this game. And we know he's more than capable of it. He's gone over 100 yards receiving in a few games this year. So he's definitely got the skill set for it. And again, depending on how Buffalo plays their defense, he could be lined up against the number 2 cornerback in their secondary. So we could see Joe Burrow looking his way a little bit more if they've got someone like Tre'Davious White on Jamar Chase. So the first prop I like for the first game on Sunday is T. Higgins over 62.5 receiving yards and over 5.5 receptions at plus 120. The next prop I like for this matchup between the Bengals and the Bills is Stephon Diggs to have over 6.5 receptions. It's at plus 110, so again, you're getting plus money on this one. He went over this number last week. He had 7 receptions in that game. And on the season, he's gone over this total 10 times. He's the number 1 receiver in this passing game. And I think we could see a lot of air yards in this game as both of these teams are pretty good against the run. Cincinnati is definitely good against the run, although they've struggled against the Ravens. The Ravens seem to have their number, but Buffalo doesn't run that same style offense. So I think we could definitely see some air yards, some receptions, and again, Diggs is the number 1 guy. Allen definitely looks his way quite a bit. So Stephon Diggs over 6.5 receptions at plus 110 is my other prop for the first game on Sunday of the divisional round playoffs. Now for the second game on Sunday of the divisional playoffs between the Dallas Cowboys and the San Francisco 49ers, the first prop I like in that one is Brandon Ayuk over 54.5 receiving yards. He's gone over this number 12 out of the 18 games that he's played this year. He had over 1,000 yards on the season. He just doesn't really get the recognition that a receiver of his caliber would get because of all the other high-profile names on this San Francisco 49ers team. But he's really an excellent wide receiver. He's gone over this number in the last 4 games, which has also coincided with Brock Purdy being the quarterback. So Purdy's definitely looking his way in the offense when he's throwing the ball. So I definitely think Brandon Ayuk has a really good shot at going over this total of 54.5. So for my first prop on this one, I like Brandon Ayuk over 54.5 receiving yards. I also like Brandon Ayuk to have an anytime touchdown score at plus 195. I think he'll have an opportunity, again, with Brock Purdy looking his way to score a touchdown in this game. He had 8 receiving touchdowns on the year, which is 8th in the NFL. So I also like Brandon Ayuk anytime touchdown score at plus 195. Now my other prop for the second game of the Sunday divisional round is T.Y. Hilton over 2.5 receptions, which is at plus 135-ish, somewhere around there. So that's another good value bet. So far, in the last 3 games, since he's actually been with Dallas, the first game was kind of a start, him just getting used to the offense. But in the last 3 games, he's had 5 targets, 4 targets, and 4 targets. So Dak Prescott is throwing the ball in his direction. So he needs to catch 3 of the 4 targets that he's been kind of averaging in order to go over this number. And I think he will, because a lot of times in these playoff games, it's the other guys on the team that tend to make the plays, because I think the San Francisco offense will certainly have their best cover guys on CeeDee Lamb. So T.Y. Hilton could certainly see the lesser of the quality DBs for San Francisco, which could give him a chance to make some plays in this game. And we know Dak Prescott's throwing him the ball because he's getting a minimum of 4 targets in the last 3 games. So I really like T.Y. Hilton to go over this number. So for my last prop of the second game on Sunday, give me T.Y. Hilton over 2.5 receptions at plus 135. So those are the prop bets that I like for Sunday's NFL Divisional Round Playoffs. Be sure to hit that like and subscribe button. It really helps out the channel. I hope everybody out there has plenty of action on these games. I hope we all make a lot of money. It's been a fun NFL season. We got to enjoy these last few games before the season is over. So thanks to everybody out for joining me up to this point, and thanks for watching.